All right, it is Friday, and that means between bites of donuts, we get to talk politics with political analyst Chuck Todd, the host of the Chuck Todd Cast. And since it is officially day number 9, we get to talk with Chuck about the government shutdown for a second week in a row.
Yay, us. Okay, Chuck. Arizona's Democratic U.S. Senators Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego caused a little bit of a stir at the Capitol when they confronted Republican Speaker Mike Johnson in the rotunda.
We have a lot of issues to work on together, and the Republicans are the party.
Well, that went well. Shockingly, they didn't solve the shutdown, but is talking at and over instead of to each other part of this problem?
Look, this isn't going to end until Donald Trump's involved. And that's the issue. And guess what? He's not that interested in this yet. He's going to the Middle East. He's got his, he's got that deal, which he deserves a victory lap on that one, assuming everything continues at the pace it's continuing. But every source I've talked to, it's nothing happens until Trump's in the room. And show me the evidence of where we're anywhere near a situation where Trump's in the room. And so at this point, look, I thought Democrats would figure out a way to declare victory. They got Republicans worried about Obamacare subsidies. They got Marjorie Taylor Greene going on CNN talking about how concerned, right? If this was the actual real issue that they were calling for, well, they got what they wanted. Well, as we know, this is not the real reason why the government shut down. It's not over healthcare subsidies. This is a longer argument over essentially disputes between Congress and the executive branch, and Democrats are mad that that there's no respect in the appropriations process. But here we are. We could be looking at November at this point.
Oof. Yeah, that's not good.
I do think our air traffic controllers will have the final say in this.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Yeah. When they get tired of this, everybody else is going to get tired of this and call their congressman, right? So focusing back in on Gallego and Kelly and Speaker Johnson here, who do you think looked worse in all of that? I felt like Gallego and Kelly kind of made it look like a stunt.
It did look stuntish. It's what we see a lot now in Congress, Jim. I've noticed this now. I mean, every staffer has their phone out now to film their boss as they're walking around. I mean, I'm not kidding. The whole thing is performance art. There is a lot more members that are doing performance now all the time. I mean, all the time, where you have staffers have the phones out ready to go. So, yeah, I get it. I do think the other issue they were bringing up with him, with the speaker, is Adelita Guayaba and getting her sworn in. This is a strange decision by Johnson. This is completely unprecedented what he's doing by postponing the swearing in. I assume she gets sworn in on Monday.
It's interesting because there are a lot of Americans who understand this, this need to go viral, and they are far less interested in Congress going viral than they are in them going to work.
Yes, that's true. Actually, most people are far interested in seeing themselves go viral than anything to do with Congress.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's admit that reality.
So you mentioned this earlier. President Trump did not get the Nobel Peace Prize. That went to the Venezuelan opposition leader, Maria Machado. But he did play a big part in bringing that Israel-Hamas ceasefire to fruition. And he did a lot for Middle East peace in his first term. Do you think, however, that stuff is just going to be an historical footnote for Donald Trump?
May not be. I mean, here's the thing. There's a lot of Donald Trump style that doesn't work in certain parts of politics, doesn't work in certain regions, right? The Europeans are allergic to his style. The Asians are allergic to his style. Not the Middle East. This is the one case where sort of the bullying, the transactional nature of him, the sort of what I would call sort of playing jazz, right? Meaning, you're willing, you don't follow a script, you don't follow the notes, you don't follow the music, right? You just sort of improvise. That works in the Middle East. This is a case where his style of negotiating, his style of talking to people, it works there, and he used it. There's one other person that style would work with if he would sort of use the same skill set, is Putin. But he hasn't done that with Putin yet. But he did it with Bibi, and he did it with Egypt, and he did it with Hamas. I mean, there aren't other presidents who would have been comfortable engaging the way Trump engaged. So this was a unique situation where it's him. Now, I'll tell you this. Israel has one friend in the world, and that's the thing. Bibi has to just keep his mouth shut and salute the president. That's the situation he's now found himself in.
Well, I mean, it could play well at home, though, because if this works, you finally get this tamping down of this awful situation, and kind of everybody comes out of it looking good, to be honest.
And you get the Gulf states to rebuild Gaza and pay for it and be the security system. I mean, look, we got a long way to go. And, let's see if Hamas really disarms, right? Let's see what the leadership structure looks like. I mean, let's be honest. And a lot of people listening going, yeah, I've seen this movie before.
Right.
We're told everything, and then all of a sudden, the fourth intifada, right? Like, here we go again type of thing. So, baby steps. But, look, getting all the hostages out, and it is, I can tell you this, people in Israel, Bibi's not popular at home. People don't realize that. Like, he's not popular in Israel. People are exhausted. There's a poll that was released this week. 66% of Israelis want Bibi to resign, take responsibility for October 7th, security failures, and resign. And 2/3 of them want him to resign immediately. Another third want him to resign when the war's over. But his political situation, I think, is going to get pretty tough for him pretty soon now that this war's over.
All right. Chuck Todd there, the host of the Chuck Toddcast, which you can find at thechucktoddcast.com.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.